Namaste, everyone. Before I begin, I would like to share a small story. There was once a man who went to a sage and said, "My mind is always restless. I have everything, but still I feel so disturbed." The sage gave him a bowl filled with water and asked him to walk without spilling it. When he returned, the sage asked, "Did you notice anything around you?" And the man said, "No, I was fully focused on the bowl." And the sage smiled and said, "When your awareness is steady, your mind becomes calm." Yoga teaches us exactly this awareness. I'm Abirami, a yoga therapy student. I feel so grateful to be part of this Manushi Talk Series. Today I'll be speaking on connecting traditional yogic knowledge with modern science. If yoga is thousands of years old, why is modern science understanding it only now? Yoga is ancient, but it's becoming more relevant today than ever before. And yoga is actually originated thousands of years ago in India, right? Ancient stages actually explore this body, breath, and mind through direct experience. For example, sage like Patanjali deeply observed how thoughts disturb the mind and how discipline and awareness can bring stillness. Without modern technology, they understood something very powerful, that body, breath, and mind are interconnected. For examples, today when someone is stressed, they may feel like they take medicines. But Yogic understood that stress is not connected to breath. It is always connected to breath. When breath is disturbed, the mind becomes restless. When breath is calm, the mind becomes peaceful. So today, modern science is rediscovering this same truth. This is where ancient wisdom meets modern science. Today, many people think yoga is only of physical exercise, but yoga is actually not about flexibility. It is more about mental clarity and emotional balance. That is a simple story. A student asked a teacher, "What do you gain from yoga?" And the teacher, you know what the teacher replied? I have lost many things. I lost my stress, fear, and anger. So many people join yoga for weight loss, but later they say, "I feel much calmer, I feel better, I react less." So this shows how yoga works on the mind. Not just the body, let us look at the modern life. Today, many people experience stress, anxiety, and lifestyle diseases. A simple example. A person in a day to day life, a person wakes up immediately, checks their phone, rushes throughout the day, sits for long hours in systems and gadgets, eats quickly, and sleeps very late. Even without illness, they feel so tired and mentally very depressed. They feel so drained in their day to day activities. This is not due to lack of medicines, it is just because they lack balance in life. On one side, there is a stress and imbalance, and on the other hand, yoga brings calmness and stability. So that is why yoga is not just important, it is a necessary tool in day-to-day life. One of the most powerful tool in yoga is the breath. Yes, breath controls everything in our life. Breath is prana, that is life energy. Let me ask you, when we are angry, how is our breathing? It is actually faster. But when we are calm and steady, instead of controlling the mind, yoga teaches us to control the breath. In texts like Hatha Yoga Pratipika, it is said, when breath is steady, mind becomes steady. Practices like Nadi Shodhana or Brahmari, it helps us calm our nervous system. So even 5 minutes of breathing can improve our sleep and relaxation in our day-to-day life. Today, many people struggle with overthinking. They think a lot, they strain their mind, their thoughts will be brushing through their mind here and there. They say, "I cannot stop my thoughts." Yoga does not focus us to stop our thoughts, it actually teaches us to observe them. There is a story of a sage who asked, a student asked the sage, "How you're always peaceful?" He just replied, "I do not try to control the world, I just observe my mind." Meditation helps us respond calmly instead of reacting. It helps us to respond other than reacting to that situation. This creates inner stability. Yoga reminds us peace is not from outside, it is always within us. Yoga is now a part of modern healthcare. It is used along with medicines. For example, a person with back pain may take some tablets, but yoga therapy looks deeper. The posture, lifestyle, stress, even by with taking medicines, if yoga is done, it will cure them more faster. Similarly, for anxiety, we include breath, relaxation, and awareness in our yogic practice, like as a therapist. Traditional healing systems also follow the holistic approach, that the same approach. Yoga therapy treats the whole person, the whole life, their body, mind, and their entire lifestyle. That is why yoga is both science and it's also a healing art. So I would just conclude by telling yoga connects ancient wisdom with modern science. It is a fast world. In this fast world, it teaches us to slow down. It is a noisy world and it teaches us silence. I would like to end with a reflection. A person spends life searching for peace outside, but one day he sits quietly and observes the breath and realizes what they were searching for was always within them. That is yoga. It is not something we achieve, it is something we realize. Yoga is not just a practice, it is a way of living. Thank you. Namaste.